Welcome to the Pathways to Surrender podcast. I'm Michael Warmoth, and thank you for joining us for this guided meditation. Please note that these meditations are recorded in a tropical setting with the windows and doors open, so you will hear birds and other sounds. Try not to let them distract you from the words. Let's take a moment now to just get settled in, get comfortable and relaxed. Maybe close our eyes and take some breaths and just listen to the music before the meditation starts. Let us take the opportunity of this moment to devote ourselves to the process of becoming present. We may not even be clear what that means or how it happens. Let us clarify what becoming present actually means. We may understand by now the process of dissociation, which is the process by which we disconnected from our authentic selves. But what does that mean? How did we disconnect? It has to do the flow of energy and information in our bodies. Specifically, we're talking about feelings and emotions. We often think of the words feelings and emotions as being interchangeable. But in fact, there's a broad spectrum of what might be called feelings. We feel energy in many ways. We perceive many feelings. At some point in our life, most of us found out that the expression of those feelings and emotions was not welcome, and in fact was a threat to our security. And we were punished, or abandoned, or neglected, or whatever form it took. The message was clear. Our authentic self was not welcome. That is, the full expression of who and what we were in that moment was not welcome. The only strategy that was available to most of us was to develop control. Develop a new self. Make ourselves better. However that looked in our mind. So we must be clear that there is no actual definition of better that fits every person's idea. And so when people seem to be acting against their own best interests, they still think they are doing what is best. And in fact, most of us could be said to be acting against our own best interests. And so, the process that we instituted was called dissociation. Using control and contraction to block off the flow and perception of energy and feelings to the conscious awareness. But that is a very unfulfilling way to live. And it is inevitable that we will grow dissatisfied and frustrated and unhappy. We may not be conscious of that, but it will outpicture somehow in our health or our finances or our relationships. Somehow it will be clear. And so, the process of becoming present, the process of reopening that connection to our authentic self, to the realm of feelings and emotions and energy. To silencing the thoughts, the constant stream of distracting thoughts. You have come to believe that everything happens in the abstract intellect. But actually, that is just distraction, a way of not being present. We must turn our awareness into the experience of the moment. Most of us experience some resistance to this process. We're unused to silence and stillness. We're unused to the energy, the perception of feelings and emotions. It is like entering a dark cave with no flashlight. We can only proceed slowly, feeling our way in. And if there is a noise or some other sudden occurrence, we back out. That is the ego. But in reality, the cave is only dark because we are so unused to this world of feelings and perceptions. It is like the sunlight has made our eyes unable to see in the dark temporarily. Eventually we adjust, become familiar with the landscape. It is an unknown territory, but it is the path to the truth. And we have heard the truth, and we have recognized it, and we have known it to be true, but we have been unable to experience it fully in our lives. And that is because of this fear of the unknown. So we must remind ourselves why we are doing this. Because we know that peace and freedom lie in the moment, in the now, in the present. We must understand this fear of our authentic selves has no relevance now. There is nothing to fear. Our authentic self is a mirror of the truth, an expression of it, a reflection of it. What we will find is peace. The peace of knowing who and what we are, which is the expression of an infinite, timeless consciousness that is a divine creative source of all there is. To know that is to know perfect peace. To know that there is an infinite creative power at work in our lives, fully available to us, and that there is a divine and perfect order unfolding in this moment. And so, let us remember to become present, to enter into the presence of the truth within us. Requires us to enter into the unknown, and that requires us to lay down our strategies for survival, to quiet the mind and still ourselves. But let us remember that what feels unknown to us is actually known to us on a much deeper level. It is only to the dissociated, abstract mind that it is unknown. Let us remember that we heard the truth and recognized it. And it triggered a longing within us to return. And that is why we are here right now, to become present to that truth, to that peace which we so desperately long for. We can have it now. We can make that choice. The unknown that's only unknown to the ego. It is only scary to the ego. Within us is the knowing that it is actually our true home. And it is not something to fear. It's something to embrace, to celebrate. That is the truth of us. Thank you for listening to this episode of our podcast. If you would like more information on these meditations and teachings, you can visit pathwaystosurrender.com. You might be interested in our other podcast, Pathways to Wholeness. These are episodes of meditative teachings designed to help us move to the next step in our journey, letting go and learning to surrender, overcoming resistance. That's Pathways to Wholeness. Look for the next episode soon. We'll be uploading them every couple of days. See you next time.